There are 10 skills that employers say are the most important when hiring or promoting people. And so today we are going to talk about what those are, and I'm going to give you some prompts to help you start brainstorming some examples of how you've done them in the past. Let's get into it. So if we haven't met, my name is Cassandra and I help motivated professionals build their careers and businesses through practical tips to gain career confidence. And today we are talking about the 10 success skills, right? These aren't always, well, one's going to be a hard skill technically, but overall, it's what are called success skills, or what used to be called soft skills, that employers are looking for when hiring. So I highly recommend you grab a pen and paper, take some notes. I'm going to give you some prompts to start thinking about how you can incorporate these skills into your resume and your interview answers. You might be like, where did you get these skills from? Well, these skills were actually listed by employers in a survey from NACE. And NACE is the National Association of Colleges and Employers. So this is where most career centers in colleges get a lot of their information. And employers who recruit heavily on colleges, they're a part of this association as well. So they did the survey, said, what is it you employers are looking for? And they said, these are the 10 skills that are most important. And I am giving them to you in order of importance. So with that, number one, problem solving. This one I find fascinating because I think more and more people are not great at problem solving. We ask a question and want someone to answer it for us instead of thinking through an answer for ourselves. Start trying to think, how have you solved problems before in the past? What was a problem that you had to solve? This could be something at a past job. This could be in your college career, something at a volunteer association, or it might just be a personal thing. Now, don't go too personal, but think about a problem that you've had to solve. So for example, when we had to move our entire office online, I helped solve the problem of how do we reach students when they can't physically come into our office? How do we start outreaching to them? And I solved that problem. I talked about ways to create a virtual career center, how to start doing more outreach on LinkedIn or Instagram, Facebook, things like that. So that was one version. Now, if it were an interview, I would give a much longer answer, but that's just a sample of how I would share my own problem solving. And just to note, if you can't think of something, that means this is something we need to work on. We got to find an example. So you need to start thinking through, how can I solve problems for myself? Just a slight tangent. I heard a podcast recently where someone said, owning a business, you have to be scrappy. You have to figure things out for yourself. And they said, it's not like college where you ask and they just give you the answer. What? That's not okay. That should not be your impression of college. College is a place where you're supposed to actually develop thinking skills, critical thinking skills, how to solve things on your own. So if there's a problem at school right now or in your job right now, really think through, how do I find the information to solve this problem on my own? Go as far as you can and then ask for resources. Okay, so the number 2 skill, teamwork. So think through, how do you work in a team? What is the role you normally play in the team? What is an example of great teamwork when a team worked together and you all did an excellent job? What is an example when there was conflict in a team and how did you resolve it? These are all teamwork things to be thinking about, to give examples in interviews and possibly bullet points on that resume. Number 3 is strong work ethic and professionalism. Now, this will be shown a lot in your resume just in terms of how long have you worked at places, how long have you worked in general, but also you might get asked questions about how have you handled a difficult situation at work. This is going to demonstrate a bit of professionalism. So keep those things in mind as you're writing your resume, as you're going through those interview questions. Number 4, analytical skills. So how have you used data to solve a problem? How do you look at data to see what's actually going on in a situation? Have you had to report out on anything based on data that you have? Now, I'm focused on data, but analytical things could happen in a lot of ways. How do you decipher something? How have you taken a lot of information and disseminated it, right? These are analytical skills. Number 5, communication, both written and verbal. Y'all, these are important ones. So you could talk about communication in a myriad of ways, but think about, what have you had to write about before and give clear communication on? What have you trained people on, right? Those are two different ways of giving communication your best shot. Now, I would also say your cover letter is a calling card of your written communication. You want to have no mistakes. You want to have no grammar errors. Please use Grammarly to help you on this sort of thing. This is a great way to show your actual communication skills. So on your resume too, think through like, how have you clearly communicated with customers before? Talk about your communication skills. Number 6 is my personal favorite. The 6th thing they are looking for is attention to detail. So this one can be solved so easily. Oh, so easily, and people don't do it ever. Y'all, quit writing strong attention to detail on your resume, okay? You don't get to just write that. You know how you tell me you have attention to detail? You have a resume with not one mistake on it. That is your calling card that you have attention to detail. If you are not being strongly attentive to detail on that document that is personal to you, that could get you an interview, to get you your job, if you have mistakes all over it, that is a signal to every employer. Well, if they don't care about what they're doing on their own documents, why would they care about the stuff we want them to do? So you have to make sure that resume has 0 mistakes. Number 7, they're looking for people with initiative. So think through, where have you taken the lead? Where have you kind of stepped up to the plate, gone out of your way, done something outside your job description to help out? If you haven't done these things, start thinking of a way you can take initiative. So you can talk about it in an interview. Number 8, adaptability. Okay, so this is a huge one. People are looking for people who can be flexible, but here's the beauty of what we've all been through in the last year. You have definitely had to be adaptable. So use something from this crazy world situation that we are in and talk about how you've had to adapt. How did you adapt when pivoting to working at home? How did you adapt to doing school at home, to your home being your work and your home life and everyone being in the same place all the time? Like, there is something in there that you can use for adaptability. Number 9 is tech skills. So what are the technical skills you need for the job you're looking to go into? This you can find on job descriptions. Is there software that they talk about all the time? Is there a certification they ask you to have? Make sure you're demonstrating those skills. And then number 10 is interpersonal skills. So this, I feel like, is a blend of teamwork and communication. How do you communicate with people? How do you like to work with others? What is your relational style? These are all things that show your interpersonal skills. Sometimes they'll ask a question in an interview of like, what is something you really value in a supervisor? Or how do you like to manage the people beneath you, right? Or the people that are your subordinates, or however they, now that's a term I feel like people don't want to use, but the people on your team. So be thinking of those interpersonal skills and how you've demonstrated those things in the past to give an answers. So that is it. 10 skills that you need to have to be highly employable. These are the skills that employers are looking for. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is your strongest? I'm really curious about this. I would love to know what you think you're strongest at. I read all of these. Please put them in the comments below. That's it for today. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.